where the wrestling truth resides.
I was doing Mason X before Sean did it, and then I was doing myself.
That's because you bought it off me. Remember, you bought the whole outfit off me.
Yeah, and then
because I used to be all the years in IWE, I was always Mason X.
There was so many different eras of sizes of Mason X.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know Eric was Mason.
I'll give you the story. I'll give you the full story from the beginning. Actually,
yeah, go for it. I knew JP was, but I never knew that you were.
I was the constant one for the longest time until Killian took it over. Back in the day,
was one once.
Back in the day in New Wrestling Horizons, Dangerous Donnie who was Cactus Pwop Pwop, hadn't been wrestling in a long time, and he wanted to come back, but not as himself. They wanted to put him under hood, so they gave him the overalls and the mask. Instead of calling him Jason X, they called him Mason X, so they wouldn't get sued. Well, Donnie left again, so they had John the Bomb filling in on occasion. He'd wrestle as himself, and then would do Mason X. Well, eventually, John the Bomb hated doing Mason X. Hated it. And I, at the time, was a greenhorn and would agree to wrestle twice. I was like, I'll work twice. Cool, great. So I'd work as myself and do Mason X. And I kept doing that for like ever. All the way through IWE time. I was, anytime you saw Mason X on a show in the early years of IWE, up until I left, I was always Mason X. And myself. That was me. So for the entire 9-year stint I ran IWE, I was Mason X and myself. When I got done, this guy right here, when IWE got rid of me, I think they wanted to bring back Mass Wrestlers Anonymous. This is what they wanted to bring back.
Me and Hobo Joe.
Hobo is Nissa, and you as Mason X.
They took Mason and Nissa and turned it into a comedy babyface tag team. And it was so terrible because we would come out as a dancing babyface mass tag team.
That's because that's what Mass Wrestling Anonymous used to be. You weren't there for the first iteration, were you?
No, I was never there for the original. No, I was there for
No, it was me and Primer. Primer was Jesus Hernandez. And, hey, Holmes, you want to wrestle?
Oh, that's stuff.
And then Aiden Andrews was the Punisher, and he'd come out with wearing a bony outfit with a skull mask. And we were Mass Wrestlers Anonymous, and we were a comedy wrestling group. Like we were like, you know how there's Alcoholics Anonymous? We were Mass Wrestlers Anonymous. That was the thing. It's like we were like, we know we have a problem, but we're okay with it. Like, we were trying to make it work, and we made it work. We did this comedy bit. We come out. I'd be Scary Mason, all serious. Jesus Hernandez would be the funny dancing guy, and the Punisher would be like the little tough guy that thinks he's like bigger than he is, but he's not. Like the Crash Holly syndrome. Yeah. And at the end of the match, after we'd win, obviously Mason X always got the hot tag, and he'd come in and kill people, and they'd win. And after we would go to leave, they would stop me from leaving. I'm Mason X, and they'd always drag me back in. They're trying to like cheer me up, make me happy, even though I'm a big, scary looking dude.
Right.
And then so all of a sudden, I'd try to leave again. They pull me back in. No, you got to do it. And they'd hit our music. They'd be Sharp Dressed Man. I'm ZZ Top. All of a sudden, girls are crazy about a sharp dressed man. And I start doing the robot as Mason X. And people would thought it was hilarious. It was super over. And people loved it. We sold, I think, 5 runs of Mass Wrestlers Anonymous t-shirts. It was super over. And this is, mind you, early years of IWE. So the fact that they remembered that shit and convinced you to buy the outfit off me so that you and Joe could reiterate it.
And we did it for a little bit too. And then
it wasn't getting over though, was it?
It was no, because it was obviously a whole joke. And we were doing it as a squash bit to like put over some like heel tag teams too.
See, the problem is we did it as a comedy bit, and right. We'd even have the lights, like we'd have the lights go off, and we set it all up with lights and shit, make it look cool. So like when I'm going to leave as Mason, they'd stop me and bring me, like drag me back to the building, like, come on, you got to do it. Then the lights would go out, the lights they would dim and come back on, and we'd be all like Too Cool style, and all of a sudden, girls go crazy about a sharp dressed man. And all of a sudden, I'm starting doing the fucking robot, and they're dancing next to me. It was a comedy bit, and it was over. they just wanted a squash team, and they figured they could just have you and Hobo work twice.
Yeah. There was a point in time, even between me and doing stuff with Joe, that eventually they would, like, I would do I think I did the King of New England, and I would have my regular gear on underneath the Mason X gimmick, and I would literally go out there and wrestle as Mason in the Rumble, get eliminated, and then like a couple entrances later come out as myself and do that again. And I was like drenched in sweat. I was dying because it was like the summertime.
I think how I felt when I had to wear that shit.
And I was like, and that's when I realized, I was like, oh, this was this was
not me. That's you doing it, right?
Yeah, that was me doing it.
Okay, if you go back, if you want to find stuff with me as Mason X, I don't know if there's any up there, but I remember one time me and Ian Griffin, because Ian Griffin, before he was with the Mutts, God rest his soul, he was coming up for me by himself. And we created a tag team, and Lawless was our manager. We were the Towers of Pain. It's me and Ian Griffin. But yeah, look up some Mason X shit. I'll tell you if it's me or not. I'll tell you which one's me. It's going to be older, though.
Oh, yeah. God, I don't even know.
Look Mason X Wrestling and see if that finds up on YouTube. But anyway, after he bought the stuff, eventually when he got done doing it, Killian, I think, he'd been in a car accident and had stopped wrestling, and he was coming back in, and he wanted to do something different, and that's when he started picking up the Mason X stuff.
My last stint or ever match of Mason was in Dexter. It was me and Sonny doing a dance-off, and under a lot of people probably don't know this unless they were there. Underneath, I'd never told Sonny about this until it happened in the ring. I had a Halloween costume from the year before. It was a adult-sized Stewie Griffin outfit. I had taken the outfit. Oh, God.
That's me.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I think that's me anyway. Play it.
Who's
That's Andy McKenzie. The frenzy Andy McKenzie. I think that's totally me. You can't tell it's me, though, can you?
No.
Yeah, you're welcome. The frenzy Andy McKenzie. It was me, Ian Griffin, and the frenzy Andy McKenzie. We were the Towers of Pain. We were all real tall dudes at the time. Yep, that's totally me.
Scotty Wilder, short hair. Is that Miyagi?
Yeah, that's Torres.
Nice. Yep.
It's how you know I know it's me. I could tell from the boots.
The boots. No, never mind.
Could never tell it was me. So that's the whole stint of IWE, the time I ran it, from when it started to the 9-year anniversary show. Yep, McKenzie. Yep. That was all me, Mason X. It wasn't until he bought it off me that someone took it. I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to sell it until he's like, I want to do it. And I said, whatever. I didn't care anymore. I took your $60. Was it? No, it was 100. It was 100 because you bought the mask and the overalls.
Yeah. So, yeah, the last ever stint of Mason with me was me and Sonny doing a dance-off. I never told Sonny what I was going to do in the dance-off. All I told him was just to chop me at the end of it, and I would sell out of the ring. And I had a full-blown Stewie Griffin outfit costume underneath. So when it came my turn to dance, I told Ethan to play Pony. And so
that's terrible.
Playing Pony, and I took the outfit that you're wearing, the same outfit that you're wearing in that video, and I stripped down on Sonny and had just the Stewie Griffin outfit on the inside, and the backside of it had a detachable ass. So it was just like an ass.
You wonder why Mason X died.
He died that night, and then he was reborn with Sean.
Well, as you just said, they couldn't tell it was me. So back when I did it, like I did it as a scary character. I jumped the shit out of many little kid in the front row. I went up to him and like, roar! And like I made it serious. because I knew I could always do both. I was always there, and I don't have to pay myself to work twice.
Right.
And I knew I could not. You could tell it's not me.
Right.
And I was a big dude, so when I tagged with Griff or Mackenzie, there we were the Towers of Pain. We fit in well. So, did y'all know I was Mason X? I was the longest running Mason X. You're welcome.